is Midnight Express podcast, and I am Sophie Warner.
I am Tim Ferman, and we have Blake with us, but I'm not even going to try to say your last name.
I am Blake, and I am not with Midnight Express. Is that where we are with?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm Blake Bailey, also known as Blake Parhamovich. So yeah, I'm glad to be here today.
You have two last names.
I have two last names. I have my real last name, which is Parhamovich, and I got my stage last name, which is Bailey.
Ah, I see.
It's easier to write checks to Bailey than it is to Parhamovich. So yeah, I like that.
And Blake.
How did you find that name?
How did I find that name? It's actually kind of crazy. I always went by Blake Parhamovich, and one of my mentors told me, like, you need something that people are going to remember. So I thought about it. It had to be something with a B for alliteration purposes. So I figured out, let's do something different. So I was talking, I wanted to be Blake. What was it? I wanted to be... I had so many different names, and my dad said to me, you should be Blake Barnum because you love the circus and you were supposed to travel with Ringling Brothers. I went, no, that's too cliche. That's too doesn't roll off the tongue. And I was like, Barnum or Bailey. I like Blake Bailey. I like that one. So Blake Bailey became my name about 2 years ago. So here we are.
Well, we'll get into. I would like to come back to that. You traveling with the Barnum Bailey Circus.
So yeah,
but we should probably introduce what you
backwards. Do. Yeah, so I'm a professional clown. I'm a variety artist, children's entertainer, and I've been doing this for 18 years, and I do all sorts of things: magic, juggling, unicycling, stilt walking, clowning, ventriloquism, balancing, fire, all sorts of stuff.
I've met several clowns in my day, but I think you're probably the most educated. You actually did go to clown college, yeah?
I did. I went to American Clown Academy out in Georgia, and I also trained with a Ringling Brothers clown in Massachusetts at Bay State Clown Arts. So yeah, I've had my training over the years.
So let's go back to, you were going to travel with Ringling.
I was supposed to. I had a contract to I had a contract to work a few different roles as a clown through some big franchises, and I had some Ringling Brothers clowns that wanted me to go on the road, so they were going to help me go through auditions. During that time, that was when the shutdown of Ringling Brothers Circus happened. So I had some abilities to possibly go audition for the brand new show that's out. However, I just like performing more on a traveling basis independently than going out with the big show. So, I mean, if something comes down the road, great. But right now, I'm here.
So have you done the work before? Were you sort of the clown in the big stage with all the other transition acts?
I've performed with Hammond Brothers Circus before, and I was what they call the intermission clown, where I perform in between before the show starts, in the middle of the show, and when the show is over. So I've also been in the center ring before, and yeah. It's actually my favorite thing to do because you have thousands of people watching you around the whole arena. So it's great.
Do you get any kind of stage fright? Is it more exciting to do that?
I have never had a performance that has not given me at least 1% of fright. You get these nervous jitters, and it always happens, but it's also, at the end of the day, something that is just like, if you don't have them, there's something wrong with you because everyone's scared before they start. So at least that's what I've always thought. A true performer always has nervous jitters before they perform.
Fair.
So yeah.
Do you have a favorite performance you've ever done?
Favorite performance that I have done in venue or in acts?
Both?
Yes.
Yes, correct. We don't have our answer yet, though. I should answer both of those. Cool. So, favorite show, our favorite act would have to be my plate spinning routine. I love doing plates. I do a trick where I balance 5 plates that are spinning continuously on an apparatus that's balanced on my chin. I haven't done that in years though, but it's one of my favorites because it's a very speed routine, and the kids have to get I pull up a child to help me out doing this, and it's very where they are the reason why this is happening, and if it all fails, it's on them. So it's a great comedy routine, and I love to do that.
Before we started, you were talking about the sort of heckling routine.
Yes.
Is that what this is?
That is one of things. I love to have a persona to my clown character, and one of those is having a personality trait which is very warm and friendly to the audience. However, I'm not afraid to, grab somebody and be aggressive, but not all around rude. And I can take control. And that's one of my abilities with my character is I can basically, make a kid look like I'm angry, but they never know that I'm not a happy performer, if that makes sense. It's just a combination of the two in a very weird mixture. And I learned that from a clown named David Shiner, who has been the master of pantomime performing. So yeah, I mean it's a crazy thing, but it's great because you can be very sweet to a kid and be like, "Get over here, you're about to do something fun," and it's just a fun thing to do.
Can you tell us more about your character? What is your
Yeah.
clown character?
So I am more of a European style clown, which means there's not a lot of aggressive, bold patterns of makeup on your face. My character is more of just a light foundation that accentuates my face from where it is now, and just gives it a clowny effect without being too crazy. And it gives me the ability to show the audience that my character is human and not a what they know of a clown, which is sometimes scary. So I've learned to go that way, and my clown style is very vaudeville like. So I love to make a tribute to vaudevillian style acts, and that's where the plate spinning routine came through, and a lot of my styles of performing come from, and so does my outfit. My whole outfit is styled over vaudeville. So yeah, it's really fun. And when I put together my vaudeville character, I really like to have the ability to, refer to the times of now and, keep it very up to date. That's what I was looking for, up to date. And the way I did that is, making the colors very bold and stand out without looking, clashy or anything like that. So yeah, it all
For
comes
those of us
together.
who don't know, what does a traditional vaudeville clown look like?
Yeah, so they use a lot of old time style patterns such as like plaid and tan colors, and it's very kind of like old like western, kind of like if you ever see old western films, that's kind of the vaudeville style in a way. I just take the design and put my bright colors, which is purple, teal, and yellow, onto those you know outfits and then make it my own. So
How did you arrive at that style? I know picking a face and picking a style is a big thing for a clown, but how
Absolutely.
did you arrive at that particular style?
So it's as any performer goes through, they go through so many different transformations until the character that you find to be very comfortable in. And I was a what we call in the clown world a yama, and a yama is someone that is wearing the old jumpsuit clown suit, a rainbow wig, and a big nose, and that's kind of how I got started. But I was wearing primary colors, off the rack clown suits, and wasn't really comfortable with it, especially at the time. I weighed 125 pounds more than I used to, and I really wasn't feeling comfortable. But when the shutdown happened, I lost the weight, and it was a huge kind of like light bulb moment. I needed to change my outfit. I needed to relate it more to my style. So I learned how to sew. I learned how to design my outfit, and I came up with my own design.
So in addition
So-
to all the performance work, you're also creating your own outfits.
Absolutely. And now I actually help other people design their outfits too. So it's a lot. It's kind of crazy how the cycle works like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, it's crazy because I keep every single outfit that I've ever worn, and I have there's it's cool to see how it all transfers over. And it's not done yet because evolution always will continue, and maybe it will be completely different. Maybe it'll be very similar. You never know, but
It's evolving.
yeah, always evolving. So yeah, it's always fun.
Do you have one clown character or do you have multiple?
So I have multiple characters. I do focus on one specific character, which is my Blake Bailey persona, and that's how I want to brand myself. That's how I want people to know me as. However, I do have a wacky scientist named Professor Kaboom. I have my 10-foot tall stilt walking character called Sheriff Stretch, which is a cowboy that I do at the fairs and festivals. I have my elf character that I do, and I have a pirate, which is Buccaneer Blake. I have so many characters that I just throw in on the spots because sometimes clients say, "Oh, our theme is Safari. Our theme is Sweetest Day." So I put all these different themes together and I just sew it up. And if it's a theme, I just make it over my Blake Bailey outfit. So I cut it out of the same pattern so it looks like Blake Bailey, but it's themed to their venue.
So sometimes you'll make a custom outfit for a gig.
Oh, absolutely. But if it's tomorrow and you tell me today, I'm not going to have it ready, of course. But if I have time, I absolutely do try to get it ready.
That's
And
so cool.
so, yeah,
That's awesome.
When it comes to business side, I try to be very unique by being, I can accommodate the client's needs, and I can also, just be unique. So I feel like that's something that kind of is a struggle in the entertainment world. So I try to, be very creative by also providing, my wardrobe to match their other themes. But when it comes to my character, the one thing I always want people to remember is like how people remember Ronald McDonald. Like you can tell me right now what color Ronald's shoes are,
Right.
which are red. You can what color Mickey Mouse's shoes are, which are yellow. So it's like those little things. I want people to recognize me by how I dress and all of that. So that's one thing I've been trying to work on for the past few years as I've been wearing my and performing my character is by how I like walk into the room. So kids nowadays, as I get to perform over 400 shows a year, they know how I look when I walk in.
Yep.
They know if they hear my name, they know exactly how I look in their head. So that's kind of the thing that I've been working on, and kind of dissecting into that type of thinking and all of that. So
That's awesome. You're becoming iconic.
I try to be. I want to be. I'm not going to be. I don't ever want to be someone that is, as my grandmother would say, too big for their britches. But I don't want. I never want that. But I do want people to, if they do treasure the moment that they have with me in the time that I'm with them, I want them to remember me. So that's always
Clown
what I try.
britches are pretty big, so you can
They
fill them.
depending now. Come on, we're not going to get
Oh,
personal
no,
over there, okay? No, I've had my first outfit was big pants, and now they're form fitting pants, and that's the cool thing about clowning is that you're never going to find a clown that is like the next one, and it's kind of like a snowflake. They're all different in their own ways, so it's great. You can never run out of creativity when it comes to clowns.
Not to jump back, but you were going to tell us about your favorite venue.
Favorite venue, yes. My favorite venue to perform at. I am a crazy Disney nerd. I love Disney with all my heart, and I got to perform at the Citrus Bowl parade in Orlando. And I unicycled in their parade, and I was right behind the Disney unit, and all the characters were there, and I was like, I was like, what do you call it, a Taylor Swift fan at the concert, like all in that fun. But yeah, and when it comes to actual venue spaces, my favorite was getting to perform at Playhouse Square. I loved performing at Playhouse Square. It was beautiful, and it was great. It was Magic Day, so they had all these families of the theater world come in and watch the shows, and I had my own show for the whole day, so it was great. I got to do 14 shows that day. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
They were 15-minute shows. You had to keep on going quick, and thousands of kids got to come in. So it was amazing. I love
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah.
So my first interaction with you was at a juggling club,
Yes.
and I found it fascinating how easily it was to just create with you. Just very low friction. We were just doing things and building and building and building until we had
Absolutely.
something at the end of it that ended up, we diverted away and came back to it. Is that a process that you are actively doing?
The crazy thing about that is when I was in clown school, I was taught to never overthink. Don't ever, try to plan something because it won't happen naturally. Mm-hmm. And when we first met, it was fun because we just grabbed the juggling clubs and just went to town. We didn't think anything of it. By the end of the night, we were both standing up on these, restaurant rolling tables, and we were juggling on top of them. And we got to learn more about each other while we were just juggling. And I mean, there was no plan to that at all, and it became a few hour, of throwing clubs. So it's fun, and that is something that I kind of live by. It's just going with the flow, and I mean, when I do perform, everything is planned and is is rolled like off of a script per se, but it's all developed through that philosophy. So yeah.
Tell us more about the education at Clown College. What was that
Classes.
education?
There's so many, and the one thing is you never want to take them all because they're not all going to be for you. I recommend taking them once, but then the next time around, find what fits best for you. And my favorites that I've taken were definitely, the one that I would never take more than twice was the history of clowning courses, because I fell asleep at least twice in the 4-hour program. So I would not do that one again. I really did like the circus skills one because that's where I learned how to walk on stilts, the high wire, and I got to learn how to do fun juggling moves where you can juggle with other people, and we call that club passing, and or passing in general because you can pass with anything. But I learned how to throw a pie perfectly. I can always hit somebody in the face, which fun circus
Alright.
tradition. When a clown that has a birthday, you pie them on their birthday. And from my instructor, you never pie with a tin pie shell because they had to go to the emergency room because they had a tear on their nose.
So what do you use?
So in the sculpting, because you learn how to, in prop building classes, you learn how to sculpt your own props, which you learn how to make your own pie tins out of foam. So it's
Oh.
kind of crazy. They're all like a cycle. You take these, you take your prop building skills and bring it back to the circus skills class, or you can go to the juggling skills class and take your prop building and make something for that. Like I made a juggling club that was out of foam, so
Oh.
I can juggle it, throw it high in the air, and then catch it on my head, and act like it knocked me in the head. And I would take 2 juggling clubs and hit them together so it sounds like it hit my head. So you take those classes and you put them together and you try to make up new routines and new concepts to follow. So yeah.
Did you have some kind of final project in that? And I was
Final project. So like, have I made a project through what I've learned from the clown?
I mean
School?
for the education that you had.
Oh,
Did you have a senior project or something?
At the end of the course, we had to perform for the. This was in Georgia, so the what was it? The Macon County Theater. We all had to perform. You had to go through auditions, and if you made it through auditions, you got to perform in the show. The cool thing was, my first year, I opened the show, which was great.
Wow.
I did it with the spinning plate routine. It was fantastic. I loved it. And then the second year that I went back, and I went back 3 years, so it was great. And then I was asked to be an instructor for the following year, so it was amazing. So the cool thing about that all was that I got to do it by myself. I made it the show, opening the show, and then the second time I got to be in the show again, which was great. But I had to do it with my good clown friend and another clown friend. We had to do the show together in a 3-clown trio act, which was so much fun because it all was about my friend Joey, who dressed up in clown drag as Josephina Scenes-a-Lot, and she was trying to sing her recital, and myself and the other clown came out and we were throwing a paper airplane back to each other, distracting the show. So Joey kept on taking the paper airplane away, and we kept on bringing out more. Got to the part where he whacked me in the face with the paper airplane, whacked the other clown in the face with the paper airplane. We walked away and came out with a 10-foot paper airplane and whacked him in the butt with the airplane. It was a weird routine, but it killed, and it was great. Best part was my clown nose went flying into the audience when he whacked me with the paper airplane, and that was not planned, but it was the best thing ever. And if you go on YouTube, you can see it. It's amazing. So yeah, it's great. And so I guess the moral of this all is that I've taken more of how how I can work with a partner, how to work solely, how to work without my voice, how to work in so many different matters that can come into different situations. So I've taken so much from it, and I've taken how to be a better all-around entertainer and not just a clown. So it's really cool how that works.
Do you sometimes work as outside of the clown persona?
Wow, not really. I mean, I always try to add my, like, no matter what character I play, and kind of going back to like all the characters that I've played, and I've played many, I always, if you have somebody watch me and they've seen me in other situations, they can go, oh yeah, that's Blake. They always know it's me, because I always add what works for me into every single character. I play the Mad Hatter. When I play the Mad Hatter, I do it, the way that it has to be. So it's the Hatter, but it's also me at the end of the day. The way that I hold a teacup is the only way Blake would hold a teacup. It's not, you can have 5 people performing that same persona, and you're going to get 5 different routines. You're going to see that my personality is going to come out in each character. So I guess, it's, you get a little bit of me in everything I do. So
That's what it takes to be iconic.
yeah, and I'm trying, I think that's the word of the day is iconic, we're just always trying to go back. But I mean, yeah, as much as I could absolutely try to be, I try to be just unique and original. So
Is there anything in particular that you find prevents you from having that uniqueness come out, or originality?
It's very hard sometimes when like you do like straightforward magic. When you do straightforward magic, you can have your own rhythm, you can have your own routine, but at the same time you have to be very you have to do the trick a certain way in order for it to work. So I find sometimes when I'm doing something that I'm not really comfortable doing, I do it from how it's like how it was shown, and how it's like a magic trick. It shows you how the routine works. So if I'm not really comfortable with something, I'll do it exactly how it's supposed to be done. Mm-hmm. I'll do it in a professional manner. But when I'm comfortable with something, it comes out so it flows. It comes out, yeah, and I feel more confident with that. So when someone asks me, do I do close-up magic? Yeah, I perform close-up magic. I do it very well. However, I feel more comfortable with other props and stuff. So I'd rather do other things that make me feel comfortable, because I know that's absolutely, that's going to project to my audience differently as well. So that's what I try.
How did you first get into clowning in general?
So it's funny that you say that. I never wanted to be a clown. I never wanted to be a clown. It was something that I was forced into doing. And I first started off, kind of go backwards. I'm going to kind of tell you how it all got started.
The origin story.
So yeah,
the iconic origin story.
The iconic origin story. So I had a Christmas obsession, since birth. I loved Christmas, loved it 24/7. I had a Santa pajamas. I had Santa beach towels. I had Santa, your teddy bear that you have. I had reindeers and Santa dolls and stuff. I was obsessed with Christmas. It was crazy. I was definitely a weird child. I loved Christmas so much that, I always wanted to give to people. I always wanted to be Santa in my own way. So when I grew up, I went to a bridge grand opening, weirdly enough, with my family, and there was a balloon artist there doing balloons and stuff, and I asked him to make me a reindeer balloon. And he made me a reindeer balloon, and I was like, I want to do that. And as I've thought about this throughout the years, I could have totally been like, I could have had somebody make me a glass blown reindeer, or welded a reindeer, or drew a reindeer on canvas. And then I would have been an artist or a welder, or, it happened to be with balloons. So it's kind of cool how it went that way.
How old were you?
When I got my first balloon, I was 5 years old. Then I started balloon twisting when I was 6. And then I got into magic, juggling, ventriloquism. 3rd grade, I started ventriloquism, and it all just started to flow. I always wanted to learn something new, so I kept on learning, started working with fire. I can fire eat, I can juggle fire, I do all sorts of stuff. And
how old were you when you started doing fire?
Fire, I was 15 awesome. When I started doing fire. So I could do close to 20 different skills. but they all started to come together. And when magic came along, my dad's friend from his childhood, his husband who passed away, was a professional clown and magician. And I found somewhere that this estate was coming along for clown and magic and juggling stuff, and I wanted to go check it out. So I told my dad. He goes, "Yeah, I know. I was going to surprise you." So we got in the car, checked out the stuff, and I fell in love with all the magic. So the lady that was selling the stuff was so sweet. She would let me come back every week once I had my allowance and buy stuff. I would hand her $1 and she would sell me something that's like $100. And I had a big magic case that I still have, that's in my collection now. It's like a $500 case. She sold it to me for $10. She was just doing this because she wanted me to have it. Got to the point where I went back and I would go weekly to her house. I said to her, I want to buy more magic. She said, okay. I went back to the house and everything was gone. She wasn't there. I was confused, and her husband said, well, sorry to tell you, it's all gone. I was like, oh. Went back upstairs. The car was completely filled with everything. She said, you're allowed to take all of this, but you have to become a clown. You have to be a clown because my husband was a clown, and I want you to, pursue his love as much as it seems like you're into it. So I said,
Wow.
I said, okay, I'll give it a try. So, mind you, before I went and started buying stuff from her, she already started selling stuff to people before she knew of me. Now, his clown suit that he wore was, very, very bold, for lack of better words. It's something I would never wear to this day, but it was a professional suit all alone. It was a very, very well put together suit. And when I started getting better at clowning, and mind you, this was 4 years of, I won't hit that, 4 years of developing, I finally got, into clowning, and I went from being forced into it to loving it. And I don't want to do anything but it now. So that's kind of one of the things that kind of established my clowning love. And the cool thing about it was, for my 18th birthday, my dad picked me up from school, and he said, we got to go make a little pit stop. So we go to this house that I've never seen before. And it was the lady that sold me all of the props and gave me all the props her new house. And she found the person that she sold the suit to, bought it back, and gifted it to me for my 18th birthday. And so when I did my first year with the circus, I had a professional clown suit to wear. And then everything started fitting into this piece and going from there. So that was one of my favorite things.
Do you keep in contact with her now?
I haven't talked to her since my 18th birthday. It's crazy. I would love to. She does theater and I do theater, and I'm an actor. And, I thought about, once I do a big show, I would definitely invite her back because, it's crazy how the person she even knew when I was 18 is not the same person that I am today, so it's crazy. But it all started, clowning came together because I was forced into clowning. So it was great. Now, I wouldn't say that she was like, you have to do clowning, you have to do it this way, but it was very much like, if you really want to get all this stuff, you have to pursue the art like he did. So I did. Yeah.
Amazing story.
Have you seen performances of him?
No, I don't even know how he did all of his styles. I've grown up, looking through the stuff. I mean, I really wish that I took better care of a lot of the stuff, but the props that I used and I liked, I then knew, okay, I need to get this again. I need to buy this again. I need to work on this. And I still use pieces and parts of the stuff that I got when I was little. And, or I found a way to fine tune it. And, like juggling clubs. He was a juggler, and, there's things called the one piece American clubs, and he had those made in Lakewood at Todd Smith's shop when it was still around. And they were so beat up, and
This is a circus shop that was in Lakewood?
It was, yes.
Wow,
It's Todd
cool.
Smith Juggling. And he made a bunch of props. These are not Todd Smith's. These are Renegade, right? Yeah, I think these are Renegade. These are pirouettes. And I think pirouettes are made by Renegade.
I think.
Think so?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They definitely sell them.
There. Renegade did sell them to me, but they do sell a lot of different props. But anyway, things like that, I try to use them for practice and stuff. And I'm very sentimental. I like looking at things and knowing where its origin is from. And it means a lot to me. I'm a collector. I love collecting things that have something to do with my career choice. So, I do have, I'm starting to make my own collection and kind of like a museum like to it, because when I'm getting ready for a show or something, I can look around and get inspired, and it gets me motivated in order to start my day of performing. So being a full-time performer has its, abilities to, have, like, you have to get inspired before you start. And, when you have a normal job, you get your jacket on, you go do your job, you go home and you're done, you're tired. But what I do and what we do is something that's very unique and creative, and it's just something that we have the privilege to do. And I mean, I've never worked a day in my life doing this.
There you go.
So it's crazy. It's crazy how that all works. So
I'm curious with the ventriloquism. Is it something you taught yourself from online? Was there classes here in Cleveland somewhere?
Oh my gosh, no. I'm one of the worst ventriloquists you'll ever meet, but I am one of the all-time favorite ventriloquists because of one character that's in my show. I started ventriloquism when I was 3 years in third grade. When I was in third grade, so I was around 6 years old. Is that third grade? 6 or 7? I don't know.
I think 8-ish.
Yeah. So anyway, I was in third grade. I loved ventriloquism, and I was performing very, very much full time with full time at 9 years old. No, but when I got
Child labor
that
laws.
kid, that kid better be careful. He's working under the table. No, I was working all the time after school on performing. Never stopped performing. I always was making balloons, always was playing with the puppets and stuff. And I would watch, a 9-year-old should not be watching Jeff Dunham, but I was watching Jeff Dunham. And, the amount of slurs and stuff that man says is crazy, but it taught me, because I kept on staring at his lips the whole time. There's another one, Terry Fader, who's a singing ventriloquist, and, just inspired me. And then I look at the puppets and how they're created and go, I want a character that's unique to me. And it's funny because I grew up with the Muppets, love Sesame Street, love all of puppetry that, was shown on television. And then when I got into performing, my mom, was like, don't ever do puppets. They're creepy. Just don't. She did not like Muppets. Like if she saw it, like we always made jokes as kids, like playing the Mana Mana song, because she never ever liked it. But the funny thing about it is my mom absolutely showed interest one day when I was searching through puppets when she saw a seal puppet.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, you're actually liking one of these. She said it was kind of cute. I said, really? And I started thinking, all right, well, I'm going to go get this seal. So I said, Mom, she has a huge impact on my career. We were called her the momager. Everyone called her the momager. She would come to all my gigs before I drove. And, she always came with me. So she had an impact on my career. So I wanted her to have some kind of place in the show. So I told my mom, I said, I got the seal. I want you to name it. And she said, okay. So we were thinking Sammy. No, I don't like Sammy. Okay. Slippy. No, Slippy doesn't work. And then she's like, CeeLo Green. And I went, what the heck is CeeLo? No, that's a singer. We're not going CeeLo Green. I go, how about CeeLo? CeeLo the Seal. So CeeLo was my main character in my show, Blake's Comedy Variety Show, which I perform regularly, that's my favorite non-word to say. I hate saying regularly because I always stumble upon it, is the Blake's Comedy Variety Show. So CeeLo is the main sidekick of my show, and it's fun because all he says is "ort" the whole time, and I don't have to worry about my lips moving really ever, because all you have to say is "ort," and that's all he does. So it's pretty much a fun, silly thing, and I am the only one that knows what he's saying because I speak Seal, and it makes sense. So I do have other characters that I do a little bit of ventriloquism with. I have a bird that's name is Marco, and every time I say, Marco, he goes, Polo. So it's just very silly nonsense, and I rarely use other puppets besides CeeLo, but that's the main character, and I focus on it going back because it makes me who I am by having Blake, and everyone knows that his sidekick is CeeLo. So yeah. Everyone, if I don't bring CeeLo, kids will ask me, "Where is CeeLo? Where is the seal?" It became to a point where my family's like, "He's a family member now," and my better half's always saying like, "Oh, is CeeLo ready for the show? Did you clean CeeLo up? Is he ready to go?" And it's an actual part of the family. We were talking earlier about having pets. Yeah, I have a seal, so don't have to walk him, don't have to feed him. It's not animal abuse though,
He's
so we're
stuffed
good.
already.
Yeah, he's stuffed. Yeah. Didn't like that one. No, that one didn't work. So
Is it actually a stuffed puppet? Do you have one, or
no,
do you have many?
You do not know me. I have almost double to triple of everything. I own 37 pairs of clown shoes. I have 5 of my Blake Bailey outfits. I have 4 of my elf outfits. I have multiples of everything. Why? Because my anxiety makes me buy everything in multiples, because I'm always afraid it's going to go discontinued, or I can't get my hands on it, or something breaks and I'm going to need another one. So CeeLo, though, I have 3 CeeLos, and I also have, who has not been used yet, is Grandma CeeLo. And she is a character that I wanted to develop for a show to an audience that has seen CeeLo before.
Yeah.
So,
That's meta.
Yeah, well, it's kind of fun because I'm like thinking, I have dreams for the future with all of this, and I'm hoping one day, something can become where, that could be used. So I always look at stuff and go, well, it was supposed to actually be a replica of CeeLo, so I can use it from another puppet company, because CeeLo is a $750 puppet.
Oh, wow.
So he's a very expensive puppet. But he's very well made, and the reason why CeeLo became who he is because I went on the website and I asked the company, I went, what are puppets that are not commonly bought? And they're like, why do you want that list? I go, well, I want to buy something that not everyone has.
Yeah.
So I looked through the list and the seal was on there, and that's why. Like when I was looking through that list, that was the list that my mom then looked at and went, oh, the seal's cute. And that's one of the reasons why the seal came to be. But yeah, I have 3 CeeLos, I have 2 Marcos, I have too much. I have too much of everything. And I'm working on getting a new CeeLo too that has blinking eyes. So I like keep on developing more.
Does CeeLo have outfits?
Not yet. I want to give him a ruffle, like a circus ruffle to wear around his neck. And I'm actually, I have taught, other people about costuming, like I was saying earlier, and helping them design their outfits. And I'm actually designing a new class that I'm actually lecturing with on costuming. So I said, oh, one of the things is dressing your puppets, and CeeLo doesn't have anything on, so I need to make something for him soon. So that's before that lecture, I'm going to start developing that.
Where are you lecturing that? Where are you teaching that?
I'm in Tennessee, no, I'm sorry, that's where it normally is, in Georgia, where I went to clown school at. So I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, teaching at Cadabra on costuming. So yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Is that a one-off course, or is that something that you're there sort of as a professor?
So that's it's a magic convention called Cadabra, which is it's based out on where it's for all children's entertainers that do balloon twisting, magic, all sorts of certain stuff in the children's entertainment world, and they all come together and they have everyone to teach different types of in all different categories that kind of they're wrapped all into one, so everyone can help develop different skills and ideas of how to go further with their routines in their shows and in their entertainment companies and all of that. So
how often do you do those?
First time. I'm
Oh, okay.
excited for that. I've taught entrepreneurship before. I've taught, simple juggling and balloon classes before, but I've never lectured before. So I'm really excited about that because I love to write. And as I perform, I really don't have much time to do that. And yeah, so I'm very, very much looking forward to that. So
Exciting.
yeah,
That's exciting.
Very fun.
yeah, it's so cool. I like it a lot. So, but yeah,
When is the festival?
festival.
Convention?
Convention.
Sorry,
That's
wrong words.
no, it's okay. My brain's processing, so I'm like, I don't know. So that is in August, and that's right in the middle of my fair season. So I'll be going sheriff stretch, convention, sheriff stretch again. So I
The
got
sheriff stretch is the
The
one
10-foot
you do-
tall.
The 10-foot tall ones that you do for like
Fairs.
and so forth.
yeah.
So you travel around on a certain circuit of fairs. Do you travel
Ohio
to-
fairs.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
so-
of the Ohio fairs that happen throughout the state.
10 of them.
10 of
So
them.
yeah.
Wow, I didn't know we had that many fairs.
Oh, there's more. There's like over 20 to 30 fairs in Ohio. And then you got the Ohio State Fair,
Yes.
you got the big ones over there too. I go to the county fairs. So I love the county fairs. They're great to me. They're great people. It's great to meet people on,
Which
on a
county is
different
your
level.
favorite fair?
Oh my gosh. What? Putting me on the
Putting me
spot
on
over
the
here.
spot.
We're gonna pick your pick
Well,
favorites.
You'll have to yeah.
Giaga. Never what? Never me? No. I would never say that. I love this thing. So yeah, no, that's a great fair. It's actually the fair that I always went to as a child. I love the Geauga County Fair. It's a great fair. And the fact that I went from sitting down watching people perform to performing at that same fair, it's a great feeling. Yeah, first started as a balloon artist on stilts, and now I'm doing balloons on stilts and performing on stage with my show at Sheriff Stretch.
You do a 10 balloons on 10-foot stilts?
Well, I'm 10 feet tall when I'm Sheriff Stretch. I'm too crazy to go on 10-foot tall stilts. That would make me, 16 and a half feet? Yeah, no bueno. Yeah. This thing is going to come into handy today. But I absolutely love, getting to perform at the fairs because it's a different style. I mean, it's a different style of performing because you're getting people that, sometimes can't afford to go to a theater or go to venues and stuff like that. So they like staying in their counties, and it's more like, rural counties as well. So it's fun to have them, have me bring entertainment to them because it's not something that they're used to. So Sheriff Stretch is a great character. He talks like sorry, haven't done it in a little bit. He talks like this, and Sheriff Stretch, he's the county fair sheriff. And I write citations to people that are not having enough fun. And if they don't eat 10 corn dogs, 5 chili dogs, and 3 funnel cakes, they have to ride the Ferris wheel 5 times in order to get their money back from the food. It's a buy one, get one free because it comes back up and you get it back again.
Oh,
So
goodness.
it's Sheriff Stretch is a wacky, crazy character. And, when we were talking earlier about is there really like a plan to stuff? That came just naturally. Whatever comes out of my head just comes out of my, comes out of my mouth. And then, I can never get in trouble as Sheriff Stretch, which is so cool. So it's just a fun character. And, it brings nothing but joy to others. So I do that in between the convention. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to that because it's going to be a busy year. I do about 400 shows a year, like I say, and it's going to be fun just to keep on traveling, going around. I'll be going through Missouri, Ohio, and Georgia so far. Maybe we'll throw in some more states, but so far I'll be going just through those 3 states so far.
And you do lots of driving, then I'm guessing.
Lots of driving, yes. I've been traveling all summer long. This 2024, I don't remember what year it was. 2024, I did a lot of traveling and driving, and I think I thousands of miles. Went through 2 cars.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow.
I was actually, funny story. Do we have time for?
I think so.
I think so.
We have. Okay, great. I haven't seen any good enough yet. So once I get the cane on my neck, I'll know it's the pull off. But I
use a broom, actually.
A broom?
Yeah. Not a cane.
Sweep you away.
Yeah, sweep you away.
To clean up the act.
That's our character.
Exactly.
No. Oh, you were telling me about the
Yeah.
brooms. I forgot about that. So anyway, I was in Missouri performing for 2 months, and I had the ability to, do over 85 shows in Missouri over 2 months' time, and I performed at libraries, daycare centers, schools, churches, at an aquarium, like a theme park aquarium place. I got to perform all over the place, which was great. I was on my way to perform. I had 2 shows that day, and I was churning on a green right away arrow, and somebody ran the red light and T-boned me, and it was horrific, very crazy. It was a blessing and a curse having that accident, but I try to think of the humor and everything. I got out of the car and I was in full clown, and which was great. So I opened the door and I'm like, "What are you doing?" with some choice words, which we don't want to say on the mic, but I was blaming the whole situation for the longest time to who caused it and all of that, and until when it was found out that it was all going to be okay and everything was fine, I settled down and I looked back at the funny of it. That person did not expect to run into a clown,
No.
So I mean, big shoes and all, and it was great. They actually had to call a different officer to finish the police report because he was afraid of clowns.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Oh yes, that was amazing. So I mean,
That's
it's
ridiculous.
fantastic. I have doing this for so long, you get a lot of stories and you get a lot of things that happen to you, and it's absolutely crazy. I would never never trade it for the world, and that accident brought me to having a whole different look at life, and of course it wasn't the best situation to be in, but good things came out of it, and that's all you can ask for. So I'm very grateful to do what I do, and I love to do it, and yeah.
Is that the best story for things that you've done in clown off hours?
Ask me a question about a story in a way, because I may have one, because I don't know. I have too many. So
Do you go to like grocery stores and?
oh, absolutely.
and-
My better half and I mean, he'll have to go to the grocery store or something, or he'll have to go to work, and I have to go get something for dinner. So I don't care. I actually prefer grocery shopping after events because it's convenient to me because I'm already out of the house. So I go grocery shopping all the time. I live in Parma, and no one has looked at me. So I grew up in Solon, and now I live in Parma, and it's funny because people in Solon, they stop and look at you and they ask questions. People in Parma, they don't care. They're just so used to it. Okay, all right.
They're very used to you coming in.
Oh,
town.
yeah.
But also I feel like it maybe it's good advertisements and
Oh yeah, I always keep a business card on me. Oh hey, keep me in mind for your events or whatever like that. But I mean, at the same time, I kind of stay on the down low when I go. I try to do what I got to do, and all of that, and it's just try to do my everydays, but I'm not afraid to do it in clown, and yeah.
in case people do want to find you or hire you for something, do you have social media or
Absolutely.
website or
Yeah,
something
so-
like that people can find you with?
Sure do. So Blake Bailey Productions is the company, BlakeBaileyProductions.com. And you can also check me out on, TikTok if it's going to stay for, a little bit longer than we're supposed to. May have a few more days on it. Okay, remember who the clown is, buddy. Okay.
I was
but
expecting an X, so that's I'm doing better. Oh,
oh man, 3 X's, you're out. Anyway, where was he? I lost my track. Hold
The
on.
things that
Take 2. Okay. So, clowning, I thought Twisted Blake would be a great name for TikTok. Instagram is Hi, I'm Blake. So that name's a little dangerous because I say, Hi, I'm Blake. And they go, Hi, I'm Jessica. And I'm like, no. My TikTok name is our Instagram is Hi, I'm Blake. So I am Blake is Instagram, TikTok is Twisted Blake, and website is Blake Billy Productions.
And
So, yeah.
so we found out a couple things. What else are you? Do you have any more conventions or other major events that you're going to be performing at coming up soon?
I am, pursuing right now and getting it all set up to work a library tour because I
Hey.
love performing at libraries. Balloons, I learned a lot from reading books, and everything I do, I learn more from books. So that's, kind of doing like a little tribute to that. So I did libraries last season. I've done libraries before. And now I'm trying to focus on libraries. So yeah, it's pretty much fun. I love to do it. And yeah. And now I think we're kind of wrapping this all up. Should we end with a little bit of juggling, do you think?
Sure. It has to be communicated over the mics, though.
So
This
can
is
you make
fair.
the swishing sounds and the there's one club going to his hand now. Can you just be the
I will try to
narrator?
narrate your club.
We have to. It's like they don't know at home, but we've been balancing clubs the whole time, right?
Yeah, ASMR. Can we? Yeah,
ASMR
there we go.
clubs.
Let's see what we can do here. All right, and not trying to break the fancy smanchy.
Yeah, this is.
I will also
Yeah.
keep guard over the very expensive
Here we
microphones.
go. What are we doing first?
4 count.
4 count. Okay.
So a 4 count. Is very exciting.
That was a. We did not drop, but it sounded like that was a trick we just did.
Yes.
That was
The
definitely
clubs
a
are
trick.
still in the air. A 4 count is every fourth
You do very
throw goes to the other person.
This happened.
So it's called a 4 count, otherwise known as every others, and that is what they are doing currently. The clubs are staying suspended in the air very nicely now. No magic needed.
I forgot from last time. Your juggling style is very low and fast.
Which is very common of performance jugglers because it looks better for performing to do so.
5, 4, 3.
Oh no!
Yay! We did it. Are we doing it again?
Nah.
No, we're good.
Just trying to high five you with the gloves.
Yes.
There we go.
Make it loud.
Well,
Say
thank you
this
so
so you
much
learn.
for sharing your story
Yeah.
and some juggling with us.
Thank you for asking great questions because it's a different, style. I'm used to answering, the general questions. So it's fun to, open up with some different topics that you never get to share. So I'm glad to be here today.
We're glad you were here.
Awesome.
Thank you, Blake. And this has been Midnight Express.
Wow. I'm so glad to be here today, guys. Thank you. Bye, Mike.
Which is hosted by Midnight Art Club.
Midnight Art Club. Come to our things too.
Yes.
Cool.
Wonderful. All right.
I guess we're done.
We're done.